Welcome everyone to this very special conversation with master storyteller Michael Morpurgo, Sir Michael Morpurgo, I should say.
Michael will do.
On the occasion of the centenary of the Armistice, which leads in nicely to my first question. Given that it is the Armistice centenary, why do you think it's important that children learn about war, read about war?
Because it's out there. It was out there then, and we all know it's out there now. Part of our problem, really, is that we've all been brought up post-war into a world of security, and certainly the expectation that everything's going to be all right, it will be a world without war. And the more we see of the world out there, the more we realize that wars are going on all the time. And the children will have glimpses of, I'm not saying they're not going to be looking at these programs for long, but they will see glimpses of bombed houses in Syria and children being carried off to hospital. So they'll know this stuff goes on. They may not know how far away it is from home, but they'll know that it's what a lot of families in this world are living through. So to go back to a time in the First World War and the Second World War, particularly the First World War now, when a country was completely plunged into war. Everyone in society was involved in this war, at home and abroad. So the women were looking after the children, they were working in the factories, they were keeping the farms going, and the men were off there doing the fighting, and the women were doing the nursing. Everyone was involved in this thing, and the losses were huge. So in a way, it's a metaphor for the destruction that a war can inflict on society then. And it's a history lesson that it can happen again and that we mustn't forget it. And neither must we forget, therefore, those people who left this country and were fighting against a power that wanted to take over Europe and invade England if it could. They had to be stopped. And those young men went off and did their best. We can think what we like about the justification for the war now, but most of those young men came home, but close on 1 million didn't. So they never had the life I've had of growing up, having a family of my own, being a father, being a grandfather, great-grandfather. All that was denied to them, the fulfillment of all your hopes and dreams. They didn't have. And what did they die for? In my view, they died because they had to win that war. Why? Because they wanted to stop the advance of tyranny and keep our freedoms, and they wanted to keep their families at home safe. So that's why we must remember it now, because it's a lesson for us.